Welcome back, YouTubers, to another Q&A with us, the British Fist.
Catching!
Looking old and haggard as always. It's me, Mr. Parkin, and looking young and youthful and vibrant. It's none other than NJ, people.
What's up?
And if you want youthful vibrance, that is exactly what is on show here. If you have any more questions, please put them in that comment section below, and we will add them to this list that we have in front of us on this 23-inch TV screen we have here, which I've had for fucking years now. Let's get right into these questions. 249 Q&A, one away from 250. We'll have a quick. We will actually the following week have a quick announcement that we want to make to you guys. So please stay tuned for that, as it will be somewhat important. Type 1. Do you think a match between Roman Reigns and Triple H at WrestleMania will be predictable, making fans hating Roman Reigns even more, especially if he's booked to win? Yeah, especially if Triple H is facing Dean Ambrose beforehand. That's only going to make them fucking hate Roman Reigns even more.
My biggest gripe about this is the fans are forcing us to like Roman Reigns. Vince likes Roman, so we've got to like it. So even though Vince knows fans are against him, he's going to continue to push him until we like him. And I think that's somewhat damaging, especially when it comes to WrestleMania, where WrestleMania is meant to be creating new stars, big moments happen. You could say it's a big moment for Reigns, but for the fans, they're still going to boo him, you know.
I mean, at the end of the day, the fans are going to do what the fans are going to do. They're probably going to boo Roman Reigns out of the arena. I kind of have a slight bit of respect for Vince McMahon for actually going ahead with this, and even though he probably knew the fans were probably going to boo Roman Reigns, it's, well, I know what I want to do best for my company, and you're just going to have to like it. And I kind of have a slight bit of respect for Vince McMahon for actually going there. But I mean, Roman Reigns, Triple H, yes, it is predictable. I don't see Triple H being the champion after WrestleMania, and it seems like the most likely finish to the feud.
I will say one thing about this. Yes, I still say Reigns is winning, but I wouldn't mind if Triple H wins, especially with the returning of Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins wanting to come back to the championship as a face, going after the heel Triple H. So in my opinion, Triple H winning, at that point in time, you know, fans may be, oh no, Reigns should have won. But if it leads to Seth Rollins versus Triple H,
if he is booked to win, then yeah, the fans will boo, and it will be predictable. So, Cricket Sam 64. Do you think Jim Cornette is a bad person to do business with in wrestling? There is no doubt of his talent on the mic. However, he always seems to bash the majority of people he works with in shoot interviews. A couple of things about Jim Cornette. You cannot knock the guy's passion for wrestling. He does blame everyone else but himself. He does come across that way. I remember watching a shoot interview he did, and he was talking about ROH and how, you know, that didn't pan out the way things were. And he pretty much spent the whole time bashing on everyone else that worked in ROH, saying it was their fault, it was his fault, it was their fault. You know, at some point in time, you have to take accountability for some of the things you've done. So Jim Cornette is not necessarily a bad person to do business with in wrestling. I just wouldn't put him in a position of power. I think in terms of a wrestling mind, he could do, if you give you somewhat of a boost, but not in a position of power, in my opinion, like he was in ROH.
In the WWF, you know, somewhat of a likable character, then stepping away from that, going to ROH, I think it's not just his fault that he's getting criticism. It's because of how small ROH is and the fact that it's got great wrestlers, but obviously it's on a smallish network trying to grow nowadays.
Which current younger star do you anticipate WWE dropping the ball with, and who do you see them building successfully?
I've got two.
Go on.
Dropping the ball with two names, and you might say one of them's somewhat still around, and that is Damien Sandow and Cody Rhodes.
They've already dropped the ball with them two, haven't they, really?
But I still think that Cody, like I said, Cody's still somewhat active on TV when they need him. But they've dropped the ball because they both had potential to go somewhere.
They will drop the ball with AJ Styles, in my opinion. They will drop the ball with anyone from NXT, except for Roman Reigns.
Oh, current.
And who do you see them building successfully? I mean, I don't know. I mean, Roman Reigns seems like a massive project with WWE, so I would say him. But not really necessarily based on the talent, more based on the fact that, you know, WWE are going to do all they can to get this guy over, him and Bray Wyatt as well. I think they're the two people. As much as as much as we're not necessarily seeing it right now, they're the two people I think WWE will try their best to build successfully, which is why I'm mentioning those two. Not necessarily saying they will be built successfully.
Dropping the ball, you know, I did name people that have already been dropped. I didn't notice it was current, but actually working with, yes, it's going to be Roman. Bray Wyatt, again, apart from a tease that we saw on Raw 2 weeks ago of him stroking the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, I don't have much faith there. But Kevin Owens, I still have faith for.
I think they'll drop the ball on him as well, but there you go. Realistically, for TNA at the end of 2016, what would a successful year for TNA look like, and what objectives would they need to achieve on the way to meet this aim? Wow, TNA. I think realistically, at the end of 2016, a successful year for TNA would be we're staying in business and we're still on a TV network drawing 300,000 viewers. And that's a successful year for TNA, and I could never buy into the fact that they wanted to get 1 million viewers on Destination America or wherever the fuck they are, Pop TV now. That was always ridiculously just over the top, in my opinion. So that would be a successful TNA 2016 for me, just staying in business and staying on a TV station.
I want to grow a little bit more on the TV thing. Yes, if they remain on a TV on a station to the end of the year, success. But I think by the end of the year, to get an offer to go on a more popular, or at least a little bit more popular station,
and maybe to improve their management as well. That would be a goal or an objective I think that they need to do, and actually hold some people accountable backstage that actually sort of took TNA from where they were to where they are now. Robert Hernandez, could you see WWE doing a free Team TLC match between the Dudleys, New Day and the Usos at Mania? I mean, it sounds great on paper, but we've seen the New Day and Usos face off many times, and the Dudleys, you know, where are they now?
We've got asked this question not so long ago, and that is exactly what we said. It's a match that may be different because it's not a single 2-on-2, it's a multi-man match. It's still involving the same wrestlers. Yes, you're saying TLC then. So you've got Dudley's table, even though they're teasing not to use table anymore. You've got ladder kind of style wrestlers, chair, whatever. But I think it's not going to be as much of a draw because we've seen this similarity elsewhere.
I think that the tag team title match will be like it always is on the pre-show, and it'll be a multi-team match, and it'll be a really good match that people will feel deserves to be on the main card. That will be the tag title match at WrestleMania, because where are they going at the moment, which says to me WrestleMania tag team title match? Nowhere. What do you think it would take for WWE and Vince to realise they need to make more stars and not rely on Cena, Orton and other legends to make WWE great? They have a great amount of roster, not even counting NXT. The only way WWE and Vince will realise they need to make more stars and not rely on the older talents is if the ratings go down. I mean, if the rating goes down to a 1.5...
They'll set up the network money.
Yes, I know that, but a big part of their income is also from the USA Network, and if they're getting 1.5 ratings, the USA Network ain't going to want them on the channel anymore, and then they're going to have to negotiate a deal with another TV channel, which may not be as good because the ratings have fallen. And I just think it will take a ratings drop for the company to wake up and say, well, maybe we need to do something different. Hey, it worked in the mid-90s when the product was going to shit. Then we got the Attitude Era. That's the only thing I can really think. Or declining profits.
Well, here's my slight answer. As much as I can agree to that, mine would be, okay, yes, they've had a numerous collection of injuries, but not to the guys that the WWE seem to, not care about, but the main guys. Like, if Roman Reigns and Cena were injured, then I think they would think, right, they're out for blah, blah months. We're going to have to do something. And then hopefully with the popularity of whoever they pick next, may keep that ball rolling.
Aaron Crace, would you like to see Sin Cara versus Kalisto for the United States Championship at WrestleMania 32? I mean, judging by the fact they're currently going down the Ryback-Kalisto route, then yeah. But, I mean, you could do a lot with Sin Cara and Kalisto, with the masks and the lucha style and stuff for the United States Championship. So, I mean, as far as United States Championships go, I think you could do a lot with that, even though I don't think WWE would have done unless it involved Rey Mysterio.
I personally would not have done it, and that is mainly because of Sin Cara. I think because Sin Cara's not been spotlighted as a potential single opponent for anyone really, not recently. I think this match would just been thrown in there because they wanted somewhat of an exciting match, not a match that makes sense. So I personally would not have wanted it due to the WWE's booking of Sin Cara over Kalisto.
If Sin Cara had better booking, then you'd, especially with the fact they were a tag team, so you can work that in there as well, like Eddie and Ray, I suppose, a little bit. Would you like to see AJ Styles versus Dean Ambrose for the IC title at WrestleMania 32? Well, because this question may have been asked before Kevin Owens won the belt back from Dean Ambrose. But even then, I would have said no. I think Dean Ambrose deserved better at WrestleMania, especially considering the fact that so many guys are out injured. You've got to spotlight Dean Ambrose on this card, and I still think AJ Styles would not have been high enough for a Dean Ambrose.
With this match, I'm an R in about, because I did have thoughts about this because especially even more now, because the possibility of AJ and Jericho becoming the tag team champions has gone. I think now the other idea was him to come into the WWE, look good, and possibly go for one of the mid-card championships, because I think there would have had to be something to pull him in. And if it was an early championship match or win, and Ambrose, because I don't know if the WWE are taking him seriously enough, I think having him put over AJ with the Intercontinental on the line would have been a good match.
I mean, they're taking him seriously enough to face Brock Lesnar, so...
He didn't go far after that. I know he's got Triple H, but I don't feel it's long-term for AJ yet.
It will be due to the injuries, but even so, you've got to use what you have. Do you think the WWE should buy Lucha Underground? Hell no. Let Lucha Underground continue what they're doing, and let's see if they can improve it or get more viewers. So I think just leave London, just leave Lucha Underground alone. There's no reason for WWE to buy it.
I think even though Lucha needs to continue gaining success, and maybe the WWE would have helped in some way, I think Lucha Underground is getting people talking as it is. And if they continue to come up with ideas and stuff, I don't see why they can't develop better than they are. So no.
Ebro S, what was your personal favourite gimmick? For me, it was Eugene. Oh yeah, that was a pretty funny gimmick. As far as gimmicks go, I think Santino was always a good one.
You beat me to it.
Yeah, well, I thought you might say it, but I had to mention Santino.
I'm a big huge one now. Damien Sandow.
I was going to say Sandow. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he was intelligent and
I loved that gimmick back when he was the intellectual savior of the masses. That was a fantastic gimmick. So there's two. What did you think of the Harry Potter films and Alan Rickman's death? The Harry Potter films, yeah, I've never really got into like those kind of films, but Harry Potter films I did always go out of my way to watch, whether it was at the time or at a later date. So I did quite like the Harry Potter films. I did read the books. I can't remember too much about them though. It was so long ago.
The success of the movies has definitely been a big draw to want to watch it, and I did go through all the movies. They're good. I slightly, possibly more preferred the books. And as for Alan Rickman's death, it's a real shame. Like most deaths obviously are, and they won't plan to make any more movies, but it's still a big hit to the franchise.
Yep. Well, it's not just the franchise, but the acting world as well. So yeah, that was a real shame. We've had so many fucking deaths this year. It's actually depressing. It really is. What do you think of the Fine Brothers React Trademark scandal? Have you heard about this?
A little bit. It's not enough.
Basically, the Fine Brothers have done a certain kind of video where, like, you know, the Fine Brothers where they get people to react to a certain thing. It's like something that they created, and they tried to trademark it. So if anyone wanted to use it,
yes,
and they've said, there was loads of bits to it, but all in all, I think it was a bit of an idiotic move by Fine Brothers to try and sort of monopolize this kind of thing towards them, and to, you know, put in a trademark, you know, on these kind of things. I mean, the first person, why doesn't the first person that created, you know, YouTube videos, or why didn't the first person who started talking about wrestling actually, you know, put a trademark in it? No, because it's just not what you do. It's not, you know, the first person to come up with a joke. Why not trademark that? No, we just don't do that as a human race. So I thought the whole thing was stupid, and it got them a lot of deserved bad press, in my opinion. So I don't really have an opinion on it, to be honest, but just silly, really silly. What do you think of Shane's return and his Hell in a Cell match booked for WrestleMania 32 against The Undertaker? I know you like it.
With me, because it looks like they're going to keep beating off The Undertaker for years to come, and this is not going to be his final match, I think using Taker to be a threat to Shane for storyline reasons, for the fact that Shane's walked straight back in thinking he can do exactly what he wants, and you need Vince can use his biggest threats to make it challenge. You want to make an unpredictable match at WrestleMania. You want there to be anything could happen kind of feel, which you expect from this match. With Shane coming into the new year of wrestling, there's going to be more things from him to come, unless it's a one-time deal. But either way, I think there's just so much buzz of this one return, and now this one match. Beautiful.
Well, I'll just put it this way. I won't be watching WrestleMania this year. Could have done so much. You know, I mean, I don't really think WWE could have done anything to really make me watch WrestleMania. But as soon as I heard Shane return, I was like, yeah, that's fine and great. But he's returning to face The Undertaker, and I just kind of went, what? Why? Yeah, but, you know, WWE, they're trying to write their way out of this, but clearly this whole thing was done because Vince McMahon was desperate for some sort of special attraction match, so that's why Shane returned. At the end of the day, I just can't buy Shane McMahon in his late 40s, you know, going against The Undertaker, who's been, you know, booked, let's face it, been booked very well. You know, he's been beating Bray Wyatt. He's been on this WrestleMania undefeated streak, only beaten once by Brock Lesnar. And I'm supposed to buy that Shane McMahon can beat Undertaker in another cell.
Not clean. There's going to be involvement of wrestlers returning or some speciality. That makes the match somewhat exciting because you don't know who's going to come in and fight for Shane.
In a Hell in a Cell, which is supposed to keep people out.
Well, Kane didn't.
So what's the point? Just don't have it in Hell in a Cell. If you want all that to happen, just have a street fight. Simple, in my opinion. I'm just through caring. I'm just through caring of WWE's attitude of, oh yeah, we'll just last minute just do this. I'm through with it. Aaron Crace, do you think that David Beckham should be in a soccer Hall of Fame, and should he buy a soccer team if he has the money and wants to actually put effort into improving and, you know, getting his own franchise? Then he can do what he wants with his money. I agree. He should definitely be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, he was England captain for a long time. He's probably one of the most famous footballers out there in terms of the personality. So if there was a Soccer Hall of Fame, I don't even know if there is, he'd definitely be part of it, in my opinion.
As you all know, I'm not the biggest football fan, but what I will say about David Beckham is similar to what the Dudley boys do. They have their own training hall and stuff. So if David Beckham was to be involved in training the future up for a particular team, or just any player that wanted to be working alongside him, would be great. As for the Hall of Fame, he's one of the most expected ones to go into it.
In terms of England players, anyway.
Oh, you go.
What about WrestleMania 35 in London? Why not? I mean, why not do it? I mean, I've never really understood why they wouldn't have a WrestleMania in London. I mean, we have Wembley Arena or the O2 Arena. We have loads of arenas that can hold a WrestleMania. And fuck all the people that say, oh yeah, there'll be a time difference. You know, what about us? When we used to watch pay-per-views, it was 1 till 4 in the morning. For one time, we'd like to watch a pay-per-view from like in a decent time. You know, one time. Just give us this one fucking time.
And the way I also see it is, with all the contacts and power the McMahon Triple H has, I don't see why they could not pull this off and still sell it out, still get a great reaction from this, do something special that's not really properly been done. So I think 35, why not?
Would you like to see a World Cup in London? I mean, it's been the last World Cup in England was 1966, which is 50 years ago now. So it's been a while since you've had a World Cup. So I would like to see a World Cup in London. We did have Euro 96, which was 20 years ago, but
Dan,
what?
We have to win the World Cup first to make us feel like we deserve it.
We've already won a World Cup.
Well, not recently, you know. We keep losing because
I mean, God's sake, Qatar have got a World Cup, and I don't think they've ever been in a World Cup. So if they can get one, why can't we? Why can't we rig a vote? Last question. What did you do on Valentine's Day? NJ, was you at the comic book shop or not?
So I was thinking about all the love that came from Valentine's Day. I was doing things that have to be censored on here.
Oh, okay. Let's keep that censored from here and from me as well, please. Me and my girlfriend, we went away for a night. I can't remember exactly where it was. It was in Norfolk somewhere.
Why did you invite me?
I can't. Well, because
why not invite me?
There was only one bed, and we didn't want you sleeping on the end like a dog.
To the outside.
Didn't have any room in the car.
Oh.
There was no room in the car. I just took so much stuff. We had no fucking room in the car. But no, we went away for an evening. I can't remember exactly where it was, but it was in the middle of nowhere. It had a jacuzzi and pool and stuff. So it's just a nice relaxing, because it was on a Sunday as well. So we just had a nice relaxing Sunday at this place, and we had some food there, and we went there Sunday morning. We came back Monday morning. So it was a nice day, to say the least, even though I had to work Monday. So even she had the day off as well, which pissed me off, but there you go. Yeah, I had to go into work the next day, but there we go. So Valentine's Day ended up all right. So I'll tell you what, the last 2 years have been better than the last 25 combined. So.
Yeah, but you know, Valentine's Day.
I mean, it's corporate bullshit. I mean,
oh, it is. You know.
I mean, who really cares about Valentine's Day?
No. Even the ladies don't.
Even if I was single, I wouldn't care.
No,
just because I've got a girlfriend doesn't mean I care about it. I mean,
of course not. No, you just don't. Yeah, you just roses, flowers, chocolate, and
roses are red, violets are blue.
Why not?
I hate you.
That, yeah.
I mean, you spend loads of money on Valentine's Day.
Too much money.
Better off being single on Valentine's Day.
Really should. Yeah, it's too much money.
I mean, you could have a takeaway.
And who likes chocolate?
No, I mean exactly. No, who likes Valentine's Day?
No,
I know.
No.
I mean, who likes roses?
And who asks us questions about Valentine's Day?
I mean, to be honest with you, it's like you hold a rose, you get like a massive scar on your hand from holding the rose, that rose smells really nice.
And it's made out of plastic and paper.
Exactly. It's fake anyway. So what's the point? You're not even paying for the
terrible
real thing.
Day. You just can't have it.
Where'd you get them from? Like Sainsbury's.
Who made this day?
Since when does Sainsbury's sell fucking roses?
I don't know. Did God make this day? No, he didn't. It was on Valentine's Day, Mr. Valentine.
Stupid love music. I mean, you know me, I'm into heavy metal and Oasis and stuff. So why the fuck would I care about that kind of music?
We wouldn't know.
No, exactly. Valentine's Day. What's wrong? What's up with that? Stay classy. That's all I'll say. And please make sure you stay tuned for an important announcement from us, the British Fist, next week. It will be pretty important news. You can speculate as to what it might be, but you'll find out next week.
And I'm wearing this shirt as a big, massive hint of what the announcement is. But for Mr. Parkin and me, NJ, thank you very much for watching this beautiful video series we do to entertain you. Your questions are great. We're better than you. But till next time, YouTubers, goodbye.